What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue. It's been a couple weeks since I've done this, but obviously you guys know WrestleMania week happened last week. It was absolutely crazy. We actually just found out that Pat McAfee is going to be on commentary for SmackDown from now on. Yeah, that's gonna be quite the interesting it's gonna be quite the interesting experience, if you will. But obviously the commentary team has actually changed drastically. Obviously Byron Saxton is still on Raw. Michael Cole is still on SmackDown. Corey Graves ended up moving from SmackDown back over to Raw, and some dude named, I don't remember the name, something Vink? Admir Vink, I believe was his name. He's going to be the new color commentator for Raw. And then, of course, Pat McAfee will be joining SmackDown. That will be quite interesting. Very interesting. I don't know how that's going to play out for tonight's SmackDown. But that being said, again, it's been a couple weeks. But this week's episode is the big question on whether or not Ghost of the Past is really good. So, there's been a lot of rumors that the set has had a lot of clumping, and what that means is there will be some display boxes that will have three ghost rares in the set. Some will have like 2 and 1. There's even some boxes that will have none at all. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to play out. But in case you guys don't remember the cards that are in the set, I believe there's 132 cards. Yeah, there's actually 132 cards. And I believe there's 5 ghost rares. There were rumors of Dark Magician Girl being in the set, but I guess not. But anyway, in case you guys don't remember the cards that are in the set, going in numerical order, we have Vampire Voivode, Lavalval Archer, Lavalval Salamander, Heraldic Sky Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis, Heraldic Seal of Creation, Shaddoll Genius, Shaddoll Hollow, Necros of a Red Bear, Fairy Tale Roca, Fairy Tale Tales, Galaxy Eye Cipher X Dragon, Time Thief Adjuster, Time Thief Double Barrel, Sunsea Genius Loki, Sunvine Maiden, Sunseed Shadow, Sunseed Twin, Sun Avalon Dryas, Sun Avalon Dryades, Sun Avalon Dryanome, Sun Avalon Dryad Trentier, Sunvine Gardener, Sunvine Healer, Sunvine Thrasher, Sunvine Shrine, Sun Avalon Bloom, Starry Night, Starry Dragon, Starry Night Rail, Astel, Flamel, Balfire, Starry Night Sky, Ceremony, Arrival, and Starry Night Blast. Those are all the Starry Night cards. Dragoonity Armagram, Dragoonity Legatus, Remus, I probably just butchered that, Dragoonity Draft, Dragoonity Whirlwind, Dragoonity Dragoonity Oblite, Dragoonity Night, a Red Bear, Shooting Star Dragon Tech Genius Extension, that it's TGEX, but I'm calling it by its full name because why the hell not. Red Supernova Dragon, Lava Volcano, Handmaiden, Lavalval Dragon, Molten Conduction Field, Heraldic Dragon of Aset, Heraldic Dragon of Tefnuit, Heretic Dragon King of Autumn. Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. Heretic Seal of Convocation. Heretic Seal of Supremacy. Heretic Seal of Banishment. Heretic Seal of Reflection. Heretic Seal from the Ashes. Galaxy Eye Cipher Blade Dragon. Time Thief Winder. Time Thief Beazle Ship. Time Thief Regulator. Time Thief Chronocorder. Time Thief Redoer. Time Thief Perpetua. Time Thief Hack. Time Thief Startup. Time Thief Flyback. Time Thief Retrograde. Sayaru. Hyozanru. Arcbrave Dragon. Dragoonity Phalanx. Gigantes. Armed Dragon level 10. Mist Valley Baby Rock. Evil Thorn. Mind Mole. Photon Thrasher. Monolshe Pudding Cess. Tackle Crusader. The Thalos. The Mega Monarch. Recover. Raid Raptor Tribute Lanius. Cosmo Tin Can. Cosmole Dark Lady. Rare Metal Foes Bismagir. Backup Secretary. Salomon Grey Falco. Danger Thunderbird. Monolshe Petting Cessor. Salomon Grey Fowl. Dragon Knight Draco Equiste. Metal Foes Orichalc. Metal Foes Mithralum. Meteor Black Comet Dragon. Buster Dragon. Artifact Durandal. Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon. Metal Foes Steelin. Metal Foes Silvered. Metal Foes Gold Driver. Metal Foes Volflame. Fresh. Monolshe Sistart. Update Jammer. Splash Maze. Salvage. Gear Town. Emergency Teleport. Ojama Country. Miracle Synchro Fusion. Mass Change. Mass Change 2. Resonator Engine. Resonator Call. Xyz Burst. Monolshe Chateau. Metal Foes Fusion. Orchestrate Return. Royal Prison. The Monarchs Erupt. The Fam Knight's Fogblade. Cosmojo. Metal Foes Counter. Metal Foes Combination. Evenly Match. And Terror of Trishul. Those are the Ultra Rares. And for the Ghost Rares, we have Dark Magician, Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Firewall Dragon, obviously the errata, and also Blacklisted Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. There were rumors of Dark Magician Girl being printed in the set, but obviously, I guess they didn't. That must be like a secret card in the set, but I don't know. But let's talk about the set for a second. Let's talk about one of the so-called big cards in the set, and that being Vampire Void Vogue, which is obviously the first card that I mentioned. It's a rather interesting card. It's an 8-star Dark Zombie with 2800 attack and 2100 defense. And it says, if this card is normal summon, you can target up to 2 monsters in your opponent's graveyard, special summon them to your field and defense position, but negate their effects. So it's basically a double Monster Reborn for your opponent's graveyard. So again, when you normal summon it, meaning you tribute 2 monsters, you normal summon this card, you target 2 monsters in your opponent's grave, and just summon them right off the bat with their effects negate. So you could just use them to go ahead and link summon, or if you're feeling really confident, you can go ahead and just overlay them into an Xyz monster or whatever. When a monster effect is activated, when a monster effect is activated, if that effect has the same name as any monster in any grave, as a quick effect, you can negate the activation. If a monster is special summoned from your opponent's grave, you contribute 2 monsters, special summon this card from your grave. You can only use each effect once per turn. So this card, a lot of people have said that, this card's really good. This card's really good. It really isn't because the thing is, you have to, like, how can I put it? Like, when you normal summon this card, it said again, when this card is normal summon, you target up 2 monsters and you put your opponent's grave and supposed to summon them. That right there, that's good and all, but the problem is that if you overcommit, you're gonna easily get Nibiru'd right off the bat. That's one problem right there. Another problem is that this card is basically a solemn judgment with legs. Is that good? No, because because it says when a monster effect is activated, if that effect has the same name as any monster in any graveyard. So for instance, if you target, like, say, if you use, Ash Blossom, and there's an Ash Blossom in the graveyard, the effect, you would, you can use the effect to negate the activation, but the problem is that this card can easily be Solemn Judgment. This card is absolutely horrible, absolutely horrible. There's really nothing really too crazy about this card. If I were to run this card, I would just put it as a one of, just as was it just as Xyz fodder, basically. Yes, so again, I wouldn't even use this card. This card is just absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. I don't know why Konami made that card. It's one of those cards that you say that they'll say that it's good, but it really isn't. But with that being said, let's actually look at the Lavels, because Lavels, they were broken. They were really good back in the day, right around the time of, like, what was it, Hidden Arsenal or something like that? And excuse me. The card, when you think about Lavels, one of the big cards that you have to think about is obviously Lavolval Chain. Lavolval Chain hasn't been used in years, and with the Laval archetype coming back in this set, I don't know. Maybe in the next banlist we'll see Chain come back, but I highly doubt it. But Lavels aren't even gonna be that good. Heretics, they barely got any. They got some play back in the day, but it wasn't as, like, powerful as a lot of people think. Shaddoll's, I think the Shaddoll, the new Shaddoll support, I think probably was best. Even though I still feel that Winda still needs to get hit on the ban list. That way, with Winda gone, the deck could be the deck will still be consistent, but it won't be as powerful, as it was with Winda on the list. Necros, I never thought Necros would ever get their support, honestly, but with this card, Necros of a red bear, it's a 10-star warrior ritual with 3,300 attack, 3,200 defense, and it says you can ritual summon this card with any Necros ritual spell. Must be ritual summoned without using any level 10 monsters. You can only use each of these effects of Necros of a red bear once per turn. You can discard this card, tribute up to 2 Necros monsters from your hand and or field, and if you do, send the same number of Necros cards from your deck to the grave. So it's basically a I guess a different version of that. Grass looks greener, where with grass, your main deck has to match I think your opponent's deck. I think it was. I don't remember that one. But the second effect says when a monster effect is activated as a quick effect, you contribute a monster from your hand or field, negate the activation, and if you do, banish it. That effect right there is really good because not only is it a instant negate on board, but it's also a called by the grave, where instead of it going to the grave, it just gets banished right off the bat. That right there is just really, really good. So this is one of those cards I would definitely put at, like, possibly 2 at best, maybe 1. I'm not really sure. I've never worked with Nagros before, but okay, what is up with? I swear my laptop is being stupid. Anyway, so now we have to look at the Time Thieves. So Time Thieves, we didn't even get a whole lot of support for them over the year, over the last couple of years actually. I know that we ended up getting Redoer. Redoer was actually a really good card, being able to just take cards from from your opponent's deck and just attaching them to Redoer as its own material, and depending on the card, a certain effect can be activated. That right there was really good. As far as the new support goes, I don't know. I'm still a bit biased on it. I'm not sure if it'll be as good, as they think it is. But we will see about that. The Sun Avalon archetype, it's just one of those sets that's not even gonna do much about it. It's not gonna do much. But the Starry Night archetype, the Starry Night archetype, given the fact that we have Searu and what was it, Hyozanru as reprints, the Starry Night deck is a potential candidate for I would say possibly top tier 2, possibly tier 2. But the Dragonides, I think Dragonides are going to skyrocket with the new support that they got. Obviously with Armagram, with Remus coming up, Draft, and obviously to Whirlwind, which I think is their MST, I believe. As far as something like Shooting Star Dragon Tech Genius Extension, I actually did a video on this before, but it's a 10-star Wind Dragon Synchro with 3,300 attack, 2,500 defense, and it requires a tuner synchro and at least one non-tuner synchro. So you could do so with this, you can actually do Formula Synchron and Stardust Dragon, which would be really, really good. It says, when a monster effect is activated that targets a monster or monsters you control, as a quick effect, you can banish a tuner from your grave, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can only use each of the following effects of Shooting Star Dragon Tech Genius Expansion once per turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can negate the attack. Okay, so that right there is really good. It's a negate attack with wings. During your opponent's turn, if this card is in your grave as a quick effect, you contribute 2 synchro monsters. Special summon this card. So obviously with that effect, you don't want to use that effect. You want to try and keep this card on the field as much as possible, because the first effect where it says, when a monster effect is activated that targets monsters you control, banish the tuner from your grave, negate it, and destroy it. That right there is an Omni Negate, which honestly is absolutely broken. I may end up having to put that card into into my brother's Cyber Dragon deck, but okay, what is up with this thing? Here we are. Alright, so and then of course too, we also have Red Supernova Dragon, which honestly, I mean, do not get me wrong, I love my dragons, my red dragon, my Archfiend Dragon line, but this one I'm a little biased about because it requires 3 tuner monsters and at least 1 or more non-tuner synchro. So you would need a 6-star synchro, a 3-star tuner, a 2-star tuner, and a 1-star tuner. That's what you would need. That right there is that is a big cost. It says must first be sync or summon, gains 500 attack for each tuner in your grave, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. So that right there is not too bad. It's not too bad. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, or when an opponent's monster declares an attack as a quick effect, you can banish this card and all cards your opponent controls. You can banish this card and all cards your opponent controls. Once per turn during your next end phase, after this card was banished by its own effect, special summon this banished card. So, in a way, it's good, but at the same time, your opponent can easily just out this. It's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd. So would I use this card personally? Honestly, no. Honestly, no. I wouldn't use it. Just because of the fact that you need to have 3 tuners and a 6-star synchro, and I would not be able to pull off something like that, honestly. But another thing that I also want to talk about as well is also the metal foes. Is also the the metal foes archetype. Metal foes guy did get quite a bit of support, but honestly, with Electromite Band, there's no way it's gonna be that broken. There's no way it's gonna be broken. As far as the rest of these reprints, Arc Brave Dragon, Phalanx, Arc Dragon level 10, even also the Stalos, the Mega Monarch. Some of these didn't even deserve to be in this set. My personal opinion, I feel like as if I feel like as if maybe Blue Eyes White Dragon should have been here, because obviously because we have Dark Magician as one of the big reprints as a ghost rare, it would have only made sense for Blue Eyes White Dragon to be printed in this set as well. Like, I know that in the tins, this year's tins, they're gonna be, it's known as the tin of Ancient Battles, which obviously depicts the battle between the Pharaoh and of course the priest Seto, which those tins I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to them. But going back with this, again, Mega Monarch, Meteor Black Comet Dragon, Artifact Durandal, Buster Dragon, and I think, yeah, and I think they should have been switched up. You know, I think those cards should not have been here. Dark Lady, the Cosmo deck, it's not even that good, because we have Cosmo Tin Can, Cosmo Dark Lady, two of the Cosmo cards. The Cosmo deck didn't do anything for the meta when it was released. But another reprint that I think never should have took place was Danger Thunderbird. Danger Thunderbird, it is interesting. Like, I know it's been used in so many different like dark decks back in the day, but in the past, but to be honest, I don't even see this card getting any more play than it does now. Salmongrave Falco, I'm glad that we're getting reprints of the Salmongraves. I just don't think that that's gonna be that good anymore. Dragon Knight Draco Aquise, it's kind of an interesting reprint. I know it's been reprinted a couple times as like a common and like as a rare and whatnot. But for those who don't know, when Duelist Revolution was released, this card, Dragon Knight Draco Aquise, was the cover card, and as a ultra rare, as an ultimate rare, and as a ghost rare, the ultra rare was, I think, $43, I think it was. Ultimate rare was a little bit higher than that, it was like $80, but the ghost rare was about $90 to almost $100 when when it was released. Why? Because they thought, oh, the card is just that good. It's broken. No. It's not. It was never broke. It's not. It wasn't even that good. It's not that good, and I'll explain why here right now. It's It's a 10-star Wind Dragon fusion with 3,200 attack and 2,000 defense, and it requires a Dragon type Synchro and a Warrior. It requires one Dragon Synchro and a Warrior. That's what it requires. Must first be fusion summoned. Once per turn, you can target a Dragon type Synchro in the grave, banish that target, and if you do until the end phase, this card's name becomes that monster's and replaces this effect with that monster's original effects. While this card is in attack position, your opponent takes any effect damage you would have taken from their card effects instead. Okay, so that effect right there is just good, but nowadays we have cards like number 14, Greedy Saramaya, which is a whole lot better than this card because with number 14 it requires 2 level 5 monsters, and you can just keep those monsters without having a card like this card. And not only that, but it says until the end phase, meaning it's a one-time deal. It is a one-time deal. You would need 3 of these to continue the effect over and over and over again. And that's it. That's it. Honestly, that's why nobody played this card was because of the fact that you would need to be running a warrior toolbox type of deck that runs Dragon Synchros, in which case you would be able to hang on, guys. I swear my laptop's being stupid. In which case you would need to incorporate a bunch of Dragon Synchros and a bunch of Warriors. It wasn't even that good. I will say, however, cards like Fogblade and Mass Change, and even also Terror of Trishula and the Ghost Rares. Those reprints are really good, especially Evenly Matched. Evenly Matched is an excellent reprint. In fact, nowadays I think in Ghost of the Past, I think it's probably going to be a $10 card, which honestly is not too bad. That's not too bad. So the big question is this set really that good? Honestly, no, it's not, because sure, I mean it is true that we are getting cards from the Selection 10 set, but to be fair, the Sunvine archetype isn't even going to show. It isn't going to be as competitive as people think it's going to be. The Shaddoll deck. We only got just a couple new cards, so I don't even think that's going to matter at this point. Levels will never be, as good as they say, as people think. Heretics, I don't see them seeing any play. Time Thieves will probably see a lot more play. The Starry Night archetype, I'd say tier 2 at best. The Dragoonies, given the new support, I would probably say tier 1. Time Thieves, again, probably tier 1. Other than that, there's really nothing too crazy about the set. I am, however, getting a few boxes. I actually just ordered two mini boxes of the set from my partners at the collector store. I'll be getting 2 more later on, so I can do like almost a full box opening, just to show you guys how the set works, basically, in terms of pulls. So guys, that's actually going to do it for this video. Question of the day: what cards do you guys think should have been the Ghost Rare? Should have been the Ghost Rares of the set, besides what we have now. So we have, obviously, again, Dark Magician. We have Blue Eyes Alternative, Crystal Wing, Firewall, and of course the BLS Link. So other than those 5, what other cards would you have liked to see be the Ghost Rare of the set? That is the question of the day. Make sure you guys answer in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. But that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, which gets posted every Friday, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail that you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.